Hello and welcome to Talkin' Baseball. Thank you very much for joining. We are talking about underrated players on episode number 599. Let's do it. Hello and welcome to Talkin' Baseball. Thank you very much for joining us today. My name is Jimmy. I'm sitting next to Jake. We got Trevor Plouffe in California and producer BBD wearing his Lakers gear for LeBron behind the dish. Not talking basketball, though. Talking baseball. SeatGeek is sponsoring the episode. Use code TALKIN when you do. And Jake, how you doing? Wedding's coming up.
Hella hot. This jacket hoodie combo is a little more aggressive than I normally am. Trev's been hot and bothered about it all morning because he's not the best looking guy on the show today. But yeah, I'm good, man. I feel kind of like Wolverine. Like I'm ready to, like if the barista says a bad word to me, like I normally don't have that edge to me. I don't know if it's wedding pressure. I don't know if it's this New York outfit, but I'm a little hostile. But I am excited to be talking about underrated guys because that's one of my most said phrases. You guys have heard me catch myself. I'll be like, oh, that guy's kind of underrated. And then I'm like, hey, shut the fuck up, Jake. But I'm excited to yak it with the boys. And it was a good article. And it's that time did you say the dog days of the offseason, Trev?
We're in the dog days of the offseason. I need to know more about this edge that you have. You want to fight your barista?
I guess that could come off wrong, huh? No, I got served milk today. They just screwed the pooch on my order.
All right. I think you look good. I was trying to compliment you earlier today. Maybe a diss Dan Canobio in the process. That's no big deal. But yes, this is going to be a fun episode because one thing that we do like to do on this show is try to highlight players. And then today will be guys that don't necessarily always get talked about. We have the stars at each position, but there's some really good players that, whether it's just because they're starting out or they're on, maybe a smaller market team or a team that hasn't had success, we don't really get to talk about them a lot. So today we'll get to do that and share some opinions. James, you joined the political ranks last night again. And how'd that go for you?
I don't know. I tweeted out, I muted the conversation. So there's a lot of people in Washington, D.C. that cover the news on both sides that follow me. And when these things happen, they keep just blowing up my phone asking for a lip reading. And then what I do is I watch it on Twitter and I see if I can see it. And then if I can, I'm like, yeah, that's fun. And it was kind of fun. It's a fun little interaction. But yeah, I'm not a politics guy, so I tweet that out and get out of there. I think it's got 1 million views already, so it's pretty crazy. Dangerous spot. I'm excited to do this, but I think the thing about this is we talk about some of these guys. There's names that we've come across in the parameters that on this show, because we talk about a lot of players, people that listen regularly are going to be like, I know him. You guys talk about him all the time. It's yeah, but he hasn't done this and he hasn't done this. And I always say my cousins who follow Yankees and some baseball, they don't know this guy exists. So there are names that we're going to put out there that you guys have heard us talk about a lot.
It's tricky with the lines of baseball. So there's the article. How do you say that? Castro Vince, Trev?
Yeah, you nailed it.
Anthony Castro Vince. That's why you can't.
Tony.
That's why you can't say it right. He posted his 23 all underrated team, and he had some stipulations, some that were tough for us to get our heads wrapped around, like MLB Network's current top 10 right now. And that's where we wanted to, we gave ourselves a little wiggle if we needed it, but we did like some of it. If you've gotten the big contract, you're out. If you've won MVP or Rookie of the Year, you're out. So, we'll get on our Texas Rangers good side right now. I think Nathaniel Lowe will get to first base. Great early Settlers name. Great last year. We kind of felt like we've been talking about him a lot, that if you're a real baseball fan and you're in it, Nate Lowe, not underrated. Now, if you're on the fringes and you're not keeping up with your Texas Rangers, what the hell are you doing? Then Nate Lowe would be on that team. So we took some liberties there, and I think the people will get it.
Oh, yeah.
Of course. Don't take my liberty.
Okay, politics.
Back to it.
I remember that was funny. When Talkin' Yanks was coming up, every now and then Jimmy and I, but when the blue check mark meant something, you'd get a follower and you'd be like, oh, cool, who's this? And it'd be a political person. And we'd be like, fuck. All right, man.
I forget their names.
As long as you like the Yankees.
But one was very, one party and gave us a ton of shout outs. And then the other, another party. My mom, shocked, both followed because she follows that world. And I was like, who are they?
Can I give a little politics talk?
Ooh, I don't know.
Boy,
you know,
it's still,
maybe not.
I don't think so.
I watched some of the State of the Union. It was like you put a bunch of like 3 different classes in a high school together in one room, and everyone was just shouting out. It was like a rainy
high school pep rally. Yeah,
what was going on?
One side's I remember at our high school.
Don't
at our high school the juniors, Pomp Rock High School. One of the pep rallies. The juniors all got their car keys. And this probably happens at a lot of high schools, and they just started chanting, take the bus home. And that's what it was. The vibe was at that thing.
I mean, a lot of those people mock sports or talk about, sports not being important. And it's like, well, look what you guys are doing.
At one of the Pomp Rock pep rallies, a group of sophomores stole all the tennis balls from the PE classes.
Power move.
All of them. Dispersed them around the bleachers. And then on the count of 3, all threw them at the freshmen across the gym. And they got in trouble. But that's it's
powerful.
I don't mind that.
That's some great coordination.
I mean, coordination, leadership, distribution, logistics. That person probably runs a business, whoever put that in control.
More powerful than what happened last night.
I was about to say, think that happened last night. I think that's just... You got your days.
That would have been cool.
What did the freshmen do? Because, was there a leader of the freshmen that took a ball back and said, you know what? We have arms as well. We can throw these back.
They looked for a leader, and that's when I rose to the top, Trev.
Class VP.
As a senior.
President.
Well, title president. Acting VP.
President.
Which is the delegation is the key to all success.
First base.
I agree.
I want to start there because our guy, Anthony Castrovince, he threw a name out there, one of my favorite names in baseball. And if you guys remember, close to my family, because this guy's fiance was having her bachelor party while my fiance was having her bachelorette party. Ryan Mountcastle. Does your husband play baseball too? No, he just talks about it. Ryan Mountcastle. We get to live in the AL East for most of the season. We've seen him. He's a fun young hitter. He was kind of looking for a position. He got towards first base. Kind of a doubles guy. And, hey, 55 home runs the past couple years. Ryan Mountcastle can hit. I'm interested. This is kind of a big year for him. His numbers have slightly declined the past couple seasons, so I want to see where he is this year. And I think we stumbled into that first base has underrated dudes, kind of.
Yes. There's position scarcity, and first base isn't one of them. The corners are hot right now.
Corners are so hot right now.
The thing with first base, I think it used to be a bruiser's position where you kind of put your big guy that couldn't really field. The position has changed where you're just kind of filling it out. You can almost put anyone there. You don't have to be a prototypical first baseman. You can just kind of move guys in and out of there. And I've said this on the show before, defensively, it's a very difficult position when you really get into the nitty gritty, the game within the game type stuff. But in saying that, if you have an infielder that's, played up the middle or even some third base, they can make the transition over there, and it can look smooth at times. Because a lot of times you're only running 1 or 2 bunt plays but we do have a guy that I think we all agreed that we kind of like in this underrated spot a little bit more than Ryan Mountcastle. And do you want to give the guy's name, Jake? Because it does come from your Snakes.
Well, I thought it was funny. We all kind of brought names to the table, and we kind of wanted to put together like an all talking baseball team for everyone. And this guy was kind of on everyone's list. And sorry, Rocks, it's not CJ. It's my Snakes. Christian Walker. I think we talked about him in an episode, and then we recorded a Snakes TPP coming out soon, people. So it almost felt like we had Christian Walker fatigue. But this guy's a beast, man. And the biggest thing, I know the Golden Globes, they can mean different things. We're trying to get better with them. But the fact that Christian Walker won it last year, while having an 804 OPS, 36 home runs, top 10 in baseball, yeah, man, he's got a 29 homer season in the bank previously. And amongst the first basemen, to win the Gold Glove and hit 36 dingers last year, he has an argument that he was a top 5 first baseman in the 21-22 season, and I don't know if people talk about him like that.
Why did he get eliminated from the articles list? Is there something that took him off? Because we changed the parameters for us.
Right.
Did we go through all that?
I think he was on the top 10.
He has a Silver Slugger, too. I don't know if that counts as one of the awards.
Does he have a Silver Slugger? That's not listed on his baseball
he
reference.
doesn't. He has a Gold Glove.
Oh, I'm looking at it. He has a Gold Glove. I was looking at a different guy.
I think he might have been on the
does have
MLB
a
Network
Gold
top 10 right now list, and so he got taken off for Anthony's. But for us, I think he makes a lot of sense for a couple different reasons. Jake, you mentioned the defense and the bat. We've brought up this fact now about the humidors and how that field in Arizona used to be a launching pad. So you could say, oh, these homers, they're a byproduct of playing at Chase Field, but that's turned into like a neutral or a negative homers park with the humidor. So to put up 36 homers with having that as your home field is also impressive. So Christian Walker, I think, is a really good example of guys that are balling out, but smaller market team without a ton of success, so he doesn't get talked about a lot. The Gold Glove is really cool to have too. When you can hit like that and rock that gold label, gotta love it.
He's not on the top 10 list, and he's not on our guys list. He chose Ryan Mountcastle. So I'm wondering why he got overlooked.
Mountcastle gang.
He played 150 games last year at first too, so he's a true first baseman.
No 9-figure contract.
Is it just believing in Mountcastle situation?
I guess he just likes Mountcastle. Well, that's what I was trying to see, if he got weeded out due to parameters or...
And first base is stacked. We talked about it. CJ Crone.
Yeah.
Nate
Unless
Lowe.
he got all MLB team honors, but probably not.
I looked those up. He did not. Goldie
I think
and
it's been Freddie every year.
Do you think this guy wrote this article, Anthony Castrovince? Seems like it should be Vince.
I like that.
Castrovince.
And then like the editor from MLB was like, why don't you include the MLB team?
Yeah.
People love that. And why don't you include our top 10 list? And he's like, that makes it a lot harder for me.
Yeah, a lot harder.
And that's not things that these guys have really
pull
earned.
up like two more.
That's fine. Things. Where do I find those? Why don't you find your guys a Blue Moon as we round off the infield? Blue Moon. It's the beer of the summer. I just added that. I'm going to be honest with you. I might rip some Blue Moons, maybe at the All-Star game this year out in Seattle, maybe opening day. Yanks, Giants, does it get any better? Or whoever your team is playing on opening day. And you know what? Spring training's here. That first spring training game, get yourself some Blue Moon now. You sit on the couch. You fire it out. Trev will be on his back porch because he's a Cali girl. Get yourself some Blue Moon. Blue Moon in baseball is like peas and carrots. And you can get yourself some Blue Moon right now at get.bluemoonbeer.com/baseball. Get it delivered, people. You're in the Northeast. We had a real cold day the other day. Like it was 10 degrees and everyone was like, oh, that's a nightmare. Why don't you have some Blue Moon delivered with maybe a little orange, their signature orange? Get.bluemoonbeer.com/baseball. See your delivery options. Celebrate responsibly. Blue Moon Brewing Co., Golden, Colorado.
Colorado.
That first spring training beer on the berm. You're sitting there. The sun is shining.
Berm beer?
Hey, Trev.
Yes.
Second base was an area where you had a name.
I did. We'll first go over Tony's selection here, and he has Thairo Estrada.
Yes.
BBD's favorite player ever.
Back off.
Or is that Jake's favorite player ever?
Bullet Estrada.
The young prince. I claimed him.
Well, why don't you go over Thairo and give us your scouting report, then I'll give my guy.
Baseball is a sexual sport, and Thairo Estrada has that. No, I'll give the Talking Baseball my full elevator pitch because I fell in love with this guy. He came up. He played with his hair on fire. Gleyber Torres, who might get mentioned in a minute. Gleyber Torres was the prince who was promised, right? Gleyber was going to take over shortstop for the Yankees. Top 5 prospect. Thairo Estrada, nobody heard about. And then he came up and he just started whacking balls, opposite field homers. He was doing all the stuff you like, Trev. Yanks move him over to the Giants, and he's been playing over there. He got a cup of coffee, 50 games in 21, where he had an 813 OPS. And then last year, he plays the whole season, 140 games, 14 homers, 21 swipes. There's not a ton of guys that do that. Positive OPS plus the past couple years. I like myself some Thairo Estrada. He plays the way that I like. He kind of plays like there's no tomorrow, and I'm about that. Although I think your guy in where he sits in baseball, Trev, probably deserves a little more love.
Yeah, Estrada doesn't light up any of the metrics, but he just gets on base, has fun.
A little bit of speed, a little bit of power, man.
Also got shot in the hip, so Bullet Estrada could be a nickname.
Kind of love that. Second base we talked about first base, third base being a crowded position with some really good names. Second base is a tough one to find guys that fit these parameters that you really want to include. For Anthony's parameters, my guy doesn't make it because he has made one all-star team. But I believe, in the realm of baseball, you might know his name, but you don't know enough about this guy, and it's Jorge Polanco for my Twins.
Bias.
Yes, and just a reminder, we dropped it from, they said no all-star teams. We allowed one.
We allowed one.
Sneak onto those.
Yeah.
He made the all-star team in 2019, but he's kind of just been like a stalwart in the Twins lineup for quite some time. I bought him his first ever suits in the big leagues. I took him and we bought him some theory suits. They're really nice.
Great.
No, but if you go look at this guy, he just kind of does everything the right way. He's a switch hitter. He'll get on base at a decent clip for you, like 345. He'll slug a little bit. He'll steal some bases. He'll play defense. He's just an absolutely solid regular in the big leagues. He's got a really team-friendly contract. He's got a team option for 24 and 25. This guy is like gold to the Twins, man. He really is. Great demeanor, great teammate, everything that you want in a second baseman. He can move around too. He can play different positions, but he's played primarily second base for the Twins over the last couple of years. Jorge Polanco is my guy. I think he needs to be talked about a little bit more. If he's your second baseman, he's a set it and forget it type guy. And I think that is important for managers to have guys like that on their team where you just say, hey, I'm penciling you in every single day. Switch hitter, doesn't matter, lefty, righty, go out there and do your thing. Jorge Polanco is my guy for the all underrated team at second base.
All right, what's his contract? Did they extend him?
He signed a 5-year, 25.75. That's through 23, and they have a vesting and team options for 24 and 25.
Okay. So that also took him off of this guy's list. He said he has no 9-figure contracts.
He doesn't have 9 figures. Nine figures is $100 million.
Mil.
Oh, that's a lot of money.
The extension he signed, I think, just bought at his ARB years.
There must have been like one player that was.
Why did they add that bullet point?
That's so you can't do like
the Bryce Harper stuff.
Yeah,
it's like Bryce Harper stuff, or Don's been talked about around the office.
Yeah.
Trev,
Bryant is like a great one. That probably gets.
Trev, it's so big of you to talk about you getting him his first suit, and I think Jorge would tell you that it's pretty nice that he passed you on the Twins' all-time home runs last year, pushing you down to tied for 28th. And now
that's pretty good, though, right?
Trev's 28th all-time Twins home run leader.
Pretty not bad.
At the time you retired.
How long have the Twins been around?
Tied with Randy Bush, which is also my nickname.
Yeah, it was Jake's nickname. How long have the Twins been a franchise?
Since 1901.
Dude, that's pretty cool, Trev.
Thanks, bro. I think they were the Senators first, and they moved over.
What's the highest you ever were on that? Like you were 27th before him.
I don't even know if these stats are correct. So Jake might be like mistaken.
Buxton and Polanco both passed him last year.
So you were 26 at one point.
Eddie Rosario could have went past him if he's. Kepler is on the list at 17, so at some point he passed Trev.
So you were like 24th maybe at one point?
Miguel Sano passed Trev at one point. Brian Dozier, 10th all-time Twins home runs.
Do you know that? Were you top 20 Twins home run hitter? Franchise?
I don't think so, James. I think he's reading like a wrong list here. I'm not so sure about it.
I'm telling you.
Hey, Twins, get some home run hitters. Are you kidding me?
I mean, the home run wasn't a part of baseball for a while. Not
Only
to
one
knock you
guy
down,
above
Trev, but I'm happy
300
for you. You and Randy Bush, you got Marty Cordova beat by 27.
All right, let's talk about Jorge. Get off my homer list. Do you guys have somebody, or do you agree with my Jorge Polanco?
Second base was really hard, so I agree.
It's an interesting spot. People, if they want to get mad, it's targeted at me in this hat. But no, it's funny. Polanco, he had some expectations because there was some shortstop in there, and he had a little bit of a down year and kind of bounced back. We've been laughing recently. Gleyber Torres, in a way, can be considered now underrated. I think he's pretty much a top 5 second baseman. But between the Gleyber rise, and then he kind of came down, and then he struggled at shortstop, that in the pendulum of baseball, I guess it depends how you view him. But no, I think Jorge Polanco is a great answer, Trev.
Thank you. He had 33 homers in 2021.
It's not bad.
That's not even.
Is that real?
That's not even the homer year.
Pass you on the list.
Sheesh.
Let's go to our favorite position, the shortstop. This article, Anthony Castro Vince,
like that,
had Ahmed Rosario listed. That all of us did a little head bop, and we're like, yeah, man. Like, you watch that dude play when you're playing the Guardians, and you're like, damn, that guy's a problem. Like, he has tough at bats. If you make a mistake, it's going to take advantage of him. He plays good defense. His problem for a little bit was, getting traded and getting moved around, and then he ended up back at shortstop. He's a really strong ball player. Jim, I think you came up with the guy that deserves to be shouted out at least with them or on our Talkin' Baseball team.
Willy Adames?
Yes.
He's number 1.
Bang.
I mean, Willy Adames.
I have him highly rated, so I think maybe you're speaking more to.
You think so?
General. I mean, I love
No
Willy
way.
Adames. You guys know
but
that.
Trev, but I understand what you're saying, but that's just because we're in too deep. If
Yeah.
you go say name the top 10 shortstops, no one's saying Willy Adames in that top 10. Think about the last 2 free agent markets. Think about
I mean, I
names.
agree that you're not going to mention him with the guys that.
And I'm not saying he's as good as them, but I mean, I just think this guy's good.
He was eliminated from this original because he was number 8 on the top 10 list. So that's why Castro Vince didn't use him.
I think it's a great pick
But
for you,
the
James.
general public, the regional fan that doesn't follow other divisions, other leagues, they don't like Adames. After the trade has been great, but last couple of years, I mean, last 3 years, his numbers are really good, especially for shortstop.
Literally couldn't see the ball in Tampa. That's what he said.
And his defense is plus. He's not a wizard according to Baseball Savant, but he's not harming either. So yeah, I thought
better than Ahmed Rosario for comparing the two of them.
Nico Horner fit on this list, or does he not have? Does he have service
I think he's
time?
too young.
Too young. Okay.
Too young.
He's going to second base.
Nico Horner. Yeah, no, and shortstop, I think, kind of like I teed it up with, it's the position. Like, you kind of, there's a natural baseball instinct to be like, who's at shortstop? And when they're a stud, you know them. That on that top 10 list, it's Trey Turner. Like, we can't kind of, maybe he's underrated in spirit, but just got 300 milli. Correa, Bogarts, Seager, Lindor, Dansby, Bo Bichette, Tim Anderson's won batting titles. Wander Franco's got 300 mil coming. Willie's kind of the outlier.
I would say that I was gonna bring this up. You just mentioned his name. I think Bo Bichette is underrated. Now, he burst onto the scene and people were talking about him. Clearly, he's got the last name. He's a gorgeous human being. He's got the hair. He makes the game look really nice. One-time All-Star. But go check out this guy's numbers. Like, when this guy is right, I think he might be a top 5 guy. Like, when he's right. And he's going to demand a lot of money. I think we've stopped talking about him, though. And I think when you kind of just look around the league, I don't know about top 5. I think there's some really, really good shortstops in the league. But he's in the discussion. And I don't think we've been talking about him enough as of late. And I don't know if that's because he's surrounded by some really good talent on the Blue Jays. And maybe we talked about Vladdy Jr. a little bit more. But Bo Bichette, this guy is... I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if he came out this year and was like in the MVP discussion. Like, he's that good.
Led the AL in hits the last 2 years. Didn't have that in my bag.
Yeah, we don't talk about him like that anymore.
He had some moments at shortstop that were tough last year. I would have to get Blue Jays' full opinions on that. The games that I watched, he had a couple moments that were like, whoa.
Him and Vlad don't make the most delightful pairing over there.
So
he's 24 years old.
I know. He is really good.
Gold gloves,
and he's already had 4 seasons in the big leagues. Let him learn. Let's learn how to play D a little bit. I don't know. I feel like sometimes I watch him, he's great. Sometimes, he gets blown up there a little bit. But
I don't know what the numbers say.
The skill level's there.
I feel like he's great to his left. When I picture a Bo play, I picture him going towards second, doing a little spin throw, slide. Yeah, I can pull that up.
I don't know. Maybe he's not underrated because he's got MVP 12, MVP 11 last 2 years.
Oh, Jimmy knows ball.
Jimmy knows ball.
I know what I'm talking about. When he has to go to his right, -21 outs above average, kind of ruining. So the longer throw,
21.
It's so hard, dude. Backhand
going to his left,
perfect.
+4.
Can you do
play him 2 more steps over.
Only one shortstop. Oh, hold on. It got scrunched up. Coming in on the ball, charging the ball, -21.
Oh,
okay. That's interesting to me because that's
IKF's the only one worse than him, -24, coming in.
Interesting.
Stats.
To the right, but to the left is his only plus column. To the right, he's neutral. To the left, he's +4.
Take a couple steps in, kid.
Hey, Bo, hit me up. I'll hook you up with my guy, turn you into a Gold Glover.
So interesting that Dansby's one of the best going to his right, but has the weakest arm of all shortstops. Dansby's defensive metrics are kind of like a...
They don't know what to do with it.
Yeah, it's like
but I just know he's really fucking good.
He gets the plays made. He's like a Picasso puzzle.
Gets it out quick and throws it quick.
Picasso puzzle.
So congrats, Ahmad Rosario, but you got to be on our list.
Bo Bichette, the best backing up on a ball.
Hey, that's something.
Playing on turf, something there.
Run into the outfield. Like, what does that consist of?
Let's move to third base.
Trev, one of your favorite places to visit, third base, high school to now. On our list is Ryan McMahon, who he deserves a little golf clap. My rocks, Kelsey Wingert's rocks. He plays an incredible defensive third base. The problem is you never want to be the guy that followed the guy, and he might have followed the best defensive third baseman to ever play the game, and Nolan Arenado. So I think it can get a little overlooked how good of a defender he is. In outs above average, he's only behind Arenado and our guy, Key Brian Hayes, the past couple years. His offensive numbers come in around 100 OPS plus. Are we going? But as team talking baseball, I think the Yandy man was getting thrown around.
I like Yandy Diaz.
Talked about
it's
Yandy.
A discussion to have for sure. But Yandy, the last 3 years, numbers have been really, really good. I can pull them up again. I had them up. I like doing the last 3 years. I know it's kind of just subjective, but that's what, like, free agents and all that. It's an easy number for me. 4 years ago could be a long time ago sometimes, Like, I don't even remember 4 years ago. Were you in your 20s?
Yeah.
Yeah.
See?
So
Different
were
guy.
you.
You weren't
Or
dressing
score.
like that.
So were you.
Yeah, Yandy
for
is...
one more
2
week.
years can get skewed pretty easy, so I like generally looking to 3 years.
Yeah, I was looking at offensive numbers in runs created plus over the last 3 years. Yandy ranks 5th. His slash line over the last 3 years is 279, 383 with the 400 slugging. So he's getting a lot done on base. And his baseball reference looks good too.
No, he's kind of a player. And, I told you guys when I got traded over to the Rays, Evan Longoria said, "You're the most Tampa Bay Rays trade person ever." And I don't even know what the hell he was talking about. But Yandy seems to me like he's the most Tampa Bay Rays dude ever because he's got a lot of things that they're looking for. He's intimidating. Okay, 6'2", 215. I think that's light. Usually we say they say guys are heavier or taller. I think that's light. This is a big boy. He's Cuban. I love that aspect about him. But to put that type of body, like leading off, playing third base and getting on base at that clip, that's what surprised me. I didn't know Yandy had that in the bag. I know he could get on base, but 401 OBP last year. Whenever you're flirting with the fours, you got my attention. When you get into the fours, what does Leonardo DiCaprio say? You got my curiosity. I don't know. That's a movie quote. I'm not a movie quote.
You had Jake loves that movie. He can quote it.
It's my favorite scene. I thought
I'm tough on movie quotes, but Yandy's a guy. Go look at the numbers. You mentioned James's baseball reference page kind of pops. And he has no all-star team, no gold glove, none of that. So I think he fits Anthony's criteria. He went with McMahon over them. I think that for me, it's Yandy as being more underrated than McMahon.
Yandy fit his criteria. He just chose McMahon, or did something?
I believe. I don't know if there's an all MLB team, all that stuff. I doubt it.
No, I mean, third base is stacked, man. It's he came in at 9 on this year's 3B list, so he was eliminated.
That's such a dumb eliminator. Has nothing to do but other people's opinions.
An opinion, yeah.
Well, it's the other people at MLB where he works.
I guess they're rating him. That's his counter. Well, how could you be underrated when
I think he had a vote in the rankings because he works for MLB. It was the MLB network thing.
Yeah. Congrats on Yandy's extension. He got extended this year. He's got 3 years, 24 M's. That runs through 25. He has a team option for 26. So, again, just a very razy guy. And they got a good one.
I know, like, analytically, people are pretty fascinated by him because he hits the ball so hard and contact quality and contact rates are all there, but just doesn't launch it.
If they could figure that out, bro.
He's gotten better. He's like on the way up.
He's worked around it so far.
And I think that's why he had a 143 OPS plus last year and a 401 on base. It's silly,
this guy's
man.
A stud.
That's silly. Know what else is silly? The catcher position. I think we might have to be high and tight with this.
We don't even have any, really.
If you're a catcher and you're good, you kind of know.
You know when a catcher's good.
We'll give Big Dumper a shout out. He's kind of too young for this consideration because they want you to earn your keep, which he did. I mean, hey, last postseason we found out who he was. Otherwise, I mean, we'd just be talking about like Christian Vasquez is underrated. The article had Eric Haas, who he's had a couple seasons where he's really cranked the ball in Detroit. I think he was actually their only 100-plus OPS hitter last year that played over 100 games or something like that. And he's been over a positive OPS plus, which, again, for catchers, that's actually really impressive. 22 homers in 98 games in 21, 14 in 2022. Trev?
Just as we named Bo Bichette as one of the more underrated shortstops in the game, he has reached a 3-year deal to avoid arbitration with the Blue Jays.
What is it?
I don't know. The money's not here yet. I'd like to know.
Yeah, they just
he was looking for 7.5 in arbitration this year, and they counted at 5. So you're assuming it's somewhere around there, and then it escalates for the next 2 years after that. So good for them, and good for Bo. Yeah.
Is the rest of his ARB years taken care of?
Yeah, so it doesn't buy out any free agent years. That's
if
great.
It's 3 years, I don't believe it does. It looks like he had all three ARB years left.
Nice.
So nice for Bo.
Congratulations, Big Dumper.
And Eric Haas. Good job, guys.
Good job, everyone.
Outfield, we're each bringing a guy to the table.
Yeah, I mean, I have a guy that I don't think is currently underrated, but fits all the other the best of the parameters. So I'm gonna get that out. It's my dude Cedric Mullins. But he's at this point, I think people know he's really good. He was an all-star last year. He had a good campaign. So I don't. Maybe on the whole, NL fans don't realize it. You know, now if you're an NL fan and you never pay attention to the AL East or the AL in general, and the Orioles are going to be on your schedule. So it's just something to know. This guy's really fun to watch. I'll say that. Yeah. He might be not underrated, but he fits the parameters we're looking in. And I was like, well, the best guy that won All-Star, no big contract, 2 years of service time, no MVP.
He does fit all our
in my
rules.
opinion.
Yeah.
But I think he's not underrated. So I just want to throw that out there right away. Another Oriole that does fit, and we've talked about a lot lately, is Santander.
Santander.
Yeah.
Say it, Trev.
Santander.
Say it like you mean it.
I thought you're French.
Santander.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a French name?
Could be. I just thought you were.
Maybe we'll just
I am.
Okay.
Combine their names in the graphic, and it'll be Cedric Santander, and we'll see how many Orioles fans get mad.
We do agree with Tony on one of his picks here. He has Mark Canha listed there. I think we talk about this guy quite a bit because he's an interesting soul, eccentric, because he's rich now. That's what you call people that are rich and a little out there, eccentric.
I think he's higher than Mullins, and like baseball fans think of him.
You think so?
Yeah, I was shocked he fit on this list.
He's on the Mets now.
Well, it's interesting. It's two different scopes. Cedric Mullins busted on the scene, and he was so good.
Yeah, Canha was traded for.
Canha's just been so solid for a long time that he's almost one of the most impressive guys to be on this list because he has been good for a while. But also, I mean, Oakland, now that he's on the Mets, I think he gets some more shine, but he's also behind. I mean, if you start listing Mets shine levels, Canha's coming in at 10, top 10 shine list.
I think he gets noticed for its bat flipping season, baby. You know, people know him as that guy more than like his play on the field a little bit.
Yeah, that young group of A's was marketed decently well for being A's, and then they all got traded. So I just feel like if I were just to ask around baseball fans like Canha or Mullins, I think people would know Canha more. And I don't know if that's the question.
It's tricky because he's been around so much longer.
Yeah.
What do you got, Trev?
My outfield pick for this team, he's got 2 years under his belt now, and he had a stretch of homers that I think people really got excited about. It's Adolis Garcia for the Texas Rangers. Can kind of do it on both sides of the ball. One thing he's got to work on is the on-base percentage, 290 career, 300 last year. But he's slugging enough that if he gets that up to, even close to league average, now we're talking about like an 800 OPS guy that can steal freaking bags and play the outfield. And I mean, he had 16 bags in 21, 25 last year, and he's not really getting caught. So he's got a good percentage there. This guy's a player, man. He's a Cuban ball player, so I love him even more. But if you go look at what he's doing there in the outfield, I think he's definitely underrated. He made an all-star team in 2021 because he went off. I believe in the first half. But to me, he's a guy that another one you just pencil in lineup or pen in the lineup.
Ooh.
Put it in Sharpie and let the guy go roam out there in the outfield. He's a good one. I think he's underrated.
Nice, Trev.
Yeah.
Powerful stuff, man.
I have something powerful for you, Trev. On the day you hit your 96th home run as a Twin and your last home run as a Twin on September 6th, 2016, it puts you 23rd on the all-time Twins homer list. Your buddy Dozier,
I remember that.
Your buddy Dozier hit his 96 like 2 weeks before. But then
so I passed him up?
No, I'm just saying if he
was ahead. He
had an injury, went on the 30 day, you could have been 22nd. Unfortunately, not only did he hit his 96 like 3 weeks before or a month before. By the time you got to 96, he was at like 114. Dozier was going off.
Yeah, he was going off. Yeah.
But that's great.
I remember that
23rd all time when you hit it. That's awesome.
It was a Dylan G cutter. Smacked it. I was feeling really good, and then later in that game, I hurt my oblique, and that was my last ever appearance for the Twins.
Dozier also homered off Dylan G in that game as well.
Bringing back the glory days, boys.
Yeah. He led off the inning with a homer. Wow. Polanco singles. Maurer double play. Trev homer.
Yep.
Cost me some ribbies there.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. That's cool. 23rd.
I think the other outfielder I'd like to shout out is Hunter Renfroe.
Oh, yeah.
Hunter Renfroe, man. He's been an 800 OPS the past 2 years. His only sub OPS plus of 100 was in the 2020 season in 42 games. Otherwise, since 2018, this guy has been a plus offensive player while playing a really high level right field. I'm a Renfroe guy. I'm surprised he has no award. Like, he didn't have a hot first half and make an all-star team. I'm surprised he doesn't have a Gold Glove. Like, he could have attacked this thing a couple different ways.
Got a gold heart.
A golden heart for Hunter Renfroe, and kind of looks like Trout. And their teammates.
Is he better looking or not as good looking as Mike Trout? Like, is he the better looking version of that person?
In my head, his face is a little more chiseled.
Trout sometimes looks silly, man. That recent picture of him with the beer, and he's kind of got the Muppet hair going on.
Wow, Jake does not like Mike Trout.
I thought you were getting him on the show.
Great.
I thought twice last year you said I'm going to get Trout, and then.
We did an interview with Mad Dog Russo. Now I don't know what to think.
We're getting Trout in the warehouse because he's a Jersey guy, and he said that he can take you deep.
I don't doubt it. He's the best player of all time. So
no, you're number 3.
Besides Shohei. Let's go to starting pitcher.
Can you, at the end of this, I don't want to derail us, just BBD remind me that I have a baseball reference thing I need to share with the people at the end of the episode?
Okay.
Oh.
The starting pitchers are brought to you by DraftKings. Are you ready? The biggest Sunday in sports, the Super Bowl. Joe's McFly will be in the building. And you can bet on Super Bowl 57 with DraftKings. $5, and you'll get 200 in bonus bets instantly if you are a new customer. You can bet on anything for the Super Bowl. If you don't know, coin toss, Gatorade, yards, literally whatever you want. Will the game end in an odd or even number? You can do whatever you want, whenever you want at the DraftKings Sportsbook. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use code Talkin. New customers can bet $5 on Super Bowl 57 and get 200 bonus bets instantly. Only at DraftKings Sportsbook with code Talkin. Minimum age and eligibility restrictions apply. See show notes for details. Chiefs big.
Whoa.
I got Eagles.
I'll start. I want to check it off. We're always at each other's throats.
Should check this one off.
Well, Tony gave us Logan Webb as his underrated pitcher. The problem is, I feel like a lot of people know Logan Webb. He had some success in the playoffs. He's been on that 107 win San Francisco Giants team that got a lot of attention. So sometimes in my mind, that's kind of how I think about overrated, underrated. Like, are people talking about this guy? And I think a lot of people talk about Logan Webb, and I like him. Instagram friends, all this stuff. But I think he's up there. If you started, rattling off aces around the league, I think when you got to the Giants, you say, yeah, Logan Webb.
Yeah, Webb was interesting, and Tony Vince in the article says that he had his moment, and that's where he, in that playoffs, if you're a baseball fan and you were watching that, you're like, damn, Logan Webb is real. And that's probably what's going to happen for my guy Zach Gallen this year. Zach Gallen, it's going to be his 5th year in the league. In 2021, he had 23 starts to the tune of a 4.3 ERA. It's by far his worst season. That's why I'm telling you that. Every other season, his ERA has been in the 2s. His rookie year, 15 starts, 2.81. 2020 shortened season, 12 starts, 2.75. And last year, 31 starts at 2.54. This guy is a dude. He's got a career 3.09 ERA, a 1.36 ERA plus. And he's going to be, he turned 27. He's 27 years old. He turned 27 last August, and that's just not something you say in February. So,
6 month, different season.
27 and a half.
It's like 2 seasons ago, basically.
Yeah.
This one's, I got one, but I should have thought about this a little bit.
Nice.
Because last year he was second in the Cy Young.
That's tough. Yeah.
So he might not be underrated anymore, but I still feel like people are not, like, if you mention the pitchers on the Chicago White Sox team, the starters, I think you'd mention Lucas Giolito. You'd mentioned Lance Lynn. You might even mention Kopech or Cueto before you got to Dylan Cease. Now, real baseball heads will, talk about Dylan Cease and strikeouts and, his stuff is just absolutely nasty. But I do believe that he's still an underrated pitcher. He is 26 years old, Jake. I don't know when he turned 26. No, he's 27.
Look at
he
that.
just turned 27.
Oh, Jim, now you need a 27-year-old,
just fucking
man.
scratch my whole board.
42 days ago, he turned 27. So I'm still allowed to say he just turned 27. If you're not familiar with Dylan Cease, I don't know how big of a baseball fan you are. So I guess he's not underrated. So maybe I'll just take him off this list. He's filthy. Go watch this guy pitch.
He's the biggest all-star snub last year.
Yeah, he has no all-stars, no contract, nothing like that. But he did have a big Cy Young vote year last year.
Damn.
Nice. Who's your 27-year-old, Jim?
How old is this guy? This is really tough to.
Pitchers always make it tough.
If you're a young pitcher that's playing well, you're known about in a way.
Gets found out.
Yeah.
Somehow there's ones that you just miss.
Go with Verlander.
Go with Joe Ryan.
Joe Ryan.
Marco Gonzalez has been good. No, not him. Blah, 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 blah,
Take back.
Take back. I feel like all the pitchers that have been good the last couple of years, you know their names because they're the one or the two.
Joe Ryan's turning 27.
Stop it, man.
June 5th. So you could take him if you want.
Does he have 2 years service time?
He does. Oh, yes.
103.
Ish. He
why don't I just
debuted
go
in
with
21.
Why don't I just go with Merrill Kelly?
Let's go.
Do people know he's really good? He
Snake
had
it.
2 bullshit starts where he got blowed up last year, and that's how ERA works. But I mean, he made however many starts.
And Merrill Kelly got blowed up.
Brent Strom's Merrill Kelly. That's what they're calling him.
Wow. A lot of snakes on this list, huh?
A lot of snakes. On the come up, Evan Longoria leading the team, kicking Torey Lovello out of the manager's office, and he's just going to go have his locker room in there.
I think
Torey, go take my locker. I'll take your office.
I think Torey would be fine with that.
I think so too. Joined offices. If you had Torey Lovello and Evan Longoria as like your co-managers, I'd sign up right now.
Both.
Torey Lovello's a guy, like a guy.
Both living on Joe's Instagram. Look at this.
Oh, would you look at this?
Dylan
That's
Cease make our team?
Yeah. He's 27. Otherwise, he'd be off. Yeah. What was the...
I mean, Woodruff, is he underrated?
Are you still going on starting pitchers?
It's tough to say.
It's tough. Because I know about these. Like, yeah.
I think
Woodruff has the eighth best FIP in the last 3 years. Some people value that a lot. And I don't know if he's got a 2.79 ERA his last 3 seasons.
I like Woodruff.
Or last 2 seasons, sorry.
Burns kind of took the shine from the law firm a little bit.
Because they were the law
Yeah.
firm, but Burns kind of
better.
like ran ahead and left Woodruff in the dust a little bit. He likes it back there.
Burns kind of like ran for mayor and won.
Yes.
And everyone's like, well, what about the...
Yeah.
We'll figure that out.
Yeah, he's just like his running mate now who's turned into his secretary. Oh, my God.
Nah.
What?
This is just fucked up. Cal Quantrill.
Hot.
But no.
Speaking of hot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I got sent this on my Twitter. Penn Murphy, one of my favorite names in all of baseball. Someone sent me a photo of him arriving to spring training. And whoa.
Oh, he's got the look you'd like.
Under consideration for the hot boy list.
Yeah, it looks like he's kind of got some kind of greasy McCullers long hair, which is your thing. He's got the Plouffe facial hair going on. Yeah.
Let me look at him again. Hold on.
Jim, didn't you have a baseball reference stat?
Yeah, so I was on the list of Twins home run hitters during the Trev thing, and then I just clicking some links. She's like, what's that?
Sure.
Kirby Puckett. I haven't looked at his page in a while, but it fully reflects the man. It's just short, condensed, and just like packed with bold and accolades because he had to end his career early because of the eye thing. But
yes,
he has a blue link in every single year he played, which is only 12. Now, I've been looking at the people who have the most all-star votes, like Mickey Mantle, Yogi Berra. They have a lot, but they always have 1 year because they got called up, only had 10 at-bats, or played 5 games, or they were injured. But Kirby Puckett, in every year of his career, played 100 games and then got an all-star, an MVP vote, won the Gold Glove, won the Silver Slugger, or got Rookie of the Year vote. I don't know if you can find another one that has that much. He didn't have an injured season or a got called up season. He never had a cup of coffee season. If he was around, he was playing and making an impact.
Because even 94, like that's not cut short because of injury. That's
led the league in RBI that year. That was the lockout.
Yeah. So that's a wild Baseball Reference page.
I like that you said it mirrored his image.
Yeah.
Short and robust.
Yeah.
Kirby's a legend. I mean,
Kirby's a legend.
I got a art piece of Kirby in my house.
Like Stan Musial's close, but he got called up in 1941 when he was 20, only played 12 games, no accolades. So
his wrapping up.
His bad. Same with Cal Ripken, 23 games in 1981, no blue.
I'll get a Puckett jersey.
You got
a 23
Rod Carew, my dude, when he was 39, his first 18 years, he's got it down. It's fucking impressive. He just played that.
Played too long.
He played that 19th year. Didn't get any votes. But that's an impressive one.
Added 280 that year.
Right at the buzzer.
And then you got Ted Williams, unfortunately 1952. Only played 6 games. Other than that, it's locked and loaded.
Arenado's got it so far.
He does?
Yeah. Gold Glove every year he's played.
Damn. Okay. Wow. He's done 10 years of this.
So we're on Arenado watch.
That is cool. Oh, my God. If Arenado doesn't win the Gold Glove, it's a huge deal. Yeah. I knew that he won them a lot. I didn't realize every year of his career.
He hasn't not won one.
He's won it. What was Nettles' record?
Tough.
He played at the
not
same.
Nettles, Brooks Robinson.
Yeah.
Who Brooks Robinson did not get. Nettles didn't get him because of Brooks Robinson.
He's got 16, I believe. He has 16. Were they all 16, consecutive? Yeah. They sure were.
He looks, yeah.
Come on, Nolan. Keep those hips loose, baby, at the hot corner.
7 more years. 7 more years.
Damn. Is that the end of that? Cool. Love you guys. Goodbye. Ampers.
Watch the one inning league.
Go watch the one inning league.